Hello again, everyone. I just did a video this morning showing how I made this sentiment with my Silhouette Portrait software and my Silhouette Portrait machine. The sentiment I did this time was Happy Birthday, and I just cut the file that I just created. So what I thought I'd do is, now I've done that much, make a card to use it. And what I thought I would do is carry on with some of these little dies that I used yesterday. Yesterday I used the bunny. Today I thought I would use the fox for a happy birthday. And the polar bear, of course, he can be a happy Christmas or whatever. So my idea today is to use the happy birthday, but rather than just colour them or whatever as I did yesterday, I want to do some embossing. So let me just take these off the sheet. There's all the middles of the O's. And I'm going to emboss them in gold, I think. Now that will actually help to round off the edges of the cuts. The one thing that I don't like about electronic die cutting, well, I'm saying dies, electronic cutting, is the fact that the edges look kind of a little bit raw. So I'm hoping that by doing embossing, heat embossing, it will round those edges off. So I'm just gently trying to tease these out of here. There we go. I'll just get rid of the middles of the A's. There's one. And here's the other one. As I'm going to emboss, I don't think I will need a second layer, but just in case, I've got my sheet handy if I need to get it. So, to do this, I'm going to use Versamark. I am going to use just regular gold embossing powder. This is Cosmic Shimmer. Bright gold metallic, it's called. And when it comes to actually heating it, as they're so tiny, I'm going to be putting them onto a little piece of silicone, which is obviously heat resistant and won't damage any surfaces. So I have, this is just a bit of old kitchen surface silicone. I use it for all sorts of things. So once I've got it, the embossing powder on, I'll pop it onto there to heat emboss. Right, let's just do it. Let's do this. Okay, here comes the happy. Just press. And the birthday. I think what I'm going to do, rather than pour embossing powder over it, is just dunk them into the pot. I'll just see if that will work. Let's see. Here's my happy. May need a couple of layers, we'll see. There's the happy. Bit missing on the H there, so I think we will need a couple of layers. Let's just see. Oops. Okay. Now I'm going to need something to anchor that down so that the heat tool doesn't just blow it right away. So what I often do is just use a pair of tweezers and just put it either side of one of the letters or something like this, and then just go from there. As you can see, at the moment, that is not rounded over, but a second layer will probably help. Someone said to me when I was doing some triple embossing, I think I'll try pouring over this time. Oh, you can just, put more powder on as soon as it's done. And you can, but I've always found that an extra layer of ink always seems to help. So let's try this time pouring it over. Look and see if that's good enough. Often three layers is what I do, but 2 might well be enough. Let's take a look. I think I prefer 3. Yeah, there's places where it's beautifully rounded, but 3 layers will be even better. So I'm going to do that. Beautiful. Really, really love the effect of that. And any embossing on my silicone mat will simply wipe off. So, right, let's pop this away. Okay, so now we've got my happy birthday, and I have visions this time of happy birthday on a square card, like that. Doesn't that look fabulous? Oh, love it. And I've got 2 foxes cut out here. He can go on there like that. It's going to be really, really simple. And I found a couple of little dies here. These are just kind of curved. I don't know where they came from. Curved foliage. And I thought I'd cut one each out and see what I thought. And I thought I'd just have like a sprig of foliage like that. Or like that. So I don't know which one I think, really. We can always look at the end and see. So I'm just going to put that on one side for a minute, and we'll work on the fox next. As I say, I've cut 2, and I have his noses absolutely safe in there. So the colours I want to make him are sort of a reddy brown and a beigey sort of colour. So the bottom layer, I think we're going to do the beigey colour. So we'll have his ears and his face and his tummy and the tip of his tail in that beige sort of colour. So let's do a bit of colouring. So here's the beige I've got. It's E210. It's called Brick Beige. Strange colour name, but there we go. And it doesn't matter if I go over the line, because I am going to be putting a bit of that one over the top of this one. So let's just see. Need to go over the line a little bit probably, so that it's not there's no sort of gaps in between. Right, I'll just do a bit more shading around under his eyes there. And the tummy. Okay. Oh, the tip of the tail. Nearly forgot that. Nearly forgot the tip of the tail. Right, now the top layer, which is going to be cut off a little bit, I'm going to do the reddy colours. What have I picked? Y212 rather, mahogany. YR172 tiger lily. Oh my goodness. And YR5 terracotta. Right, let's try the deepest one first. And I'm just going to go... Oh no, I wanted that one, didn't I? I wanted that one for the foliage. What am I thinking? These are the 2 for the fox. Right, let's just go... Let's see if we can just resurrect this slightly. And colour the tail in 2. Let's try the other colour, see what this one's like. Oh, it's quite a foxy colour, isn't it? Lovely. Right. Now I'm going to cut some of this off. Whenever I'm doing this, I often get in quite a pickle trying to work out which bit's going to go where. As in with Gummiapan dies, they only take a little bit to just nip out a section like that. There's a bit I haven't coloured on this. I'm going to have to do a little bit more. Only needs just a tiny little snip. There and there. Can you see there's a tiny little bit at the corners there I haven't quite got? So, do that edge. I'll put a bit more shading on, I think. Oops. Okay. We'll stick this bit on. Let me glue the back of this one actually. What a handsome fellow. Now let's do his bit of his body. We need to cut this bit out. I don't need to cut the tail off the body there. I just need to release the tip of the tail. That's it. Excellent. Just cut out the tummy. There we go. Left a little bit there as well. Can you see there's a tiny little bit in the corner? There we are. I think I'll put a bit of shading just down the side of that tail there. And a little bit round there, and a little bit round here. Just under his chin too. Right, stick this bit on. I do love messing about with dies like this, I have to say. It's so silly, but I do love it. I think I like the fact that the whole thing looks so well finished when you've done it, because, you know, when you're colouring, you can go over the lines, but it doesn't actually show when it comes to the actual finished article. Now, the two noses, what I want to do, I'm just wondering whether I'll make this bit gold. I'm not quite sure what to do about that. I'll have a think. Let me put a bit of tape on the back and I'll get one of the noses stuck in and then the second one on the top. So we've got a little bit of tape over the back where the nose goes. Let's pick up a nose and we'll make this one, this deeper brown, the one I was going to use for the foliage. Oh, I don't need to do this one because this one's going to be the lower layer. Let me just do this, put this one straight in. Hope you can see this. I sometimes tend to wander off. Well, there's one nose. Now the other nose, I will just colour. Let me hold it with this. Yeah, good. Tiny drop of glue. I'll pick it up first, I think. Bit much glue there. I'm just going to scrape a little bit off. That's better. There we go. And with his little nose. Bless him. I need a piece of white across there so that I can colour in the whites of his eyes. Now let's just have a look on here. Happy birthday. I want to do a little background for him. So let me first of all cut the aperture in the front of the card for him to go on. So I'll centralise this best I can. I think that looks okay. Cut this out. There's my aperture. That can go on there. I thought we'd have, again, a similar little backdrop for him, but I'll do it like sort of skyish. So again, I'm going to do this same little crackle stamp. So it's virtually like yesterday's. So a bit of crackle and just a bit more to finish off this other side. Okay, now we'll clear emboss this. That's fine. Okay, but today the colour I picked was tumbled glass. Let me just clear up this out of the way. Turn over this for the moment. Put a little bit of tumbled glass ink on there, a drop of water, and then we'll dunk this into it. I don't know what that is. It's off my fingers. Let's dry that off. I can put that bit behind the fox, so we're not going to worry too much. I'm just going to colour these two. I'm not sure which one I want to use, so we'll just colour both of them for the minute. Again, this one looks as if it ought to be green really, and I'm doing it with brown, but never mind, we'll just see. This is the one I kind of fancy, so we'll see how we go. Right. It's just to make a bit of interest behind, really. If I don't like it, don't have to use it. Oh, it looks okay. Right, this is what I fancy to go kind of like that. And happy birthday. Ooh, Australia. Happy birthday. Like that. I think that'll kind of work. Yeah. Right, let's put it together. This needs to be stuck. The circle I used for this aperture is just slightly smaller. You see, just slightly smaller than that circle, which means that that circle will have a little bit of this base layer to cling on to. So I can stick that like that and it's just sticking to the paper. It's really lucky. This is one of my Presscut nesting dies. They are so versatile. So let me just glue this and stick it onto the front panel. Good. Now I need a bit of white behind the eyes so I can draw the pupils in with a fine liner. Now you see I've got the whites of the eyes. All I need to do is get a marker, fine liner, and draw some eyes. And there he comes to life, doesn't he? Look at that. Bless him. Right, we're getting there. Now, we're going to put foam tape on the back of this. I'll do that really quickly. Right, I put some double-sided tape just around the edge of the circle and on the back of Mr. Fox. So this is to be stuck onto the front panel. This I'm going to slip in like this and stick down to the main card itself. So I am going to remove the backing from all of these, but not from the fox, so that I can actually slip that down in. So I'll just get my card base. There's my card base. So I'm going to stick that down all the way. Oh, should I just stick this on first? Doesn't much matter, does it really? Oh, sweet. Perhaps I'll stick this on first. Stick that on just kind of like that. Let me put a trail. I don't want any glue on the inside of this, just on the bits that go around the outside of the circle, because the other bits won't actually touch anything. No, that would be better put on once I've put that in, wouldn't it? Think straight, Christine. Let's just stick this down. Let's stick the whole of the front down onto the card base. Just going to pull a little bit off this and put it to the side like that, so that I can actually I'll have something to grab when I want to take it off. But I don't want to take it off just yet. Okay, a little glue stick. Now we'll glue this. Now these bits should be easy to pull off because I've partially pulled them off already. There we go. Now I'll stick this in. I was just thinking that the fronds might have got in the way of getting this, the sky bit in. There we go. Now, because there is some embossing powder, or gold embossing on the back of this, I need a reasonable glue to be able to adhere it onto here. This Barely Arts will be perfect, absolutely perfect, because it's such a good glue. Right, let's get this going. Right, I'm going to put a few little somethings around. I'm not quite sure what yet, but we will see. happy birthday. Isn't that sweet? Now, what I thought I might do is put some little pearls, but have them brown. So, and I intend colouring these with a marker. I have tried doing the colouring on this sheet before adding the pearls, but then they do take a while to dry, and I found that I can manage to get some colour on without getting it onto the card directly onto the pearl once I've attached it. So let's just hope. One more done. There's a bit of something hanging on to that one. Bit of that's gone. Okay, now this dark one that I used for the tree, I used the same one, pointy end, and just go like this, making them brown. I could have done gold, but I thought the brown might look quite nice. One more up there. There we go. It's silly. Right, another card. Thank you, whomever sent them. I really don't remember. It's very remiss of me, but you know, we went to a quiz last night, a quiz evening from my choir with a couple of our close friends. And there were only 4 of us in our team because we got there a little bit late. And some teams had 8 people in, and we came 3rd, which I didn't think was too bad, really. But, you know, looking at things and trying to remember names and, old age, it's not wonderful, is it, really? So, I hope you like this card anyway. I hope you've clicked a thumbs up. I hope you're still subscribed. And do come back and see me very, very soon.